You really should be familiar with the name Anna Meredith at the moment, as she is one of the more interesting electronic artists around right now, hailing from the UK. Scotland, to be more specific. She has also worked alongside the BBC for a few years as well, doing these really cool videos that you can find online where she like manipulates sound and creates pieces of music using weird things and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Check it out if you can find it. And this new album, FIBS, here is probably the best album she's put out to date, honestly. She did work on the 8th grade soundtrack last year. She also put out the album Varmints, which was pretty good too. But this new one here has completely stopped me in my tracks. There are so many great elements on this album that once again proves that she is honestly pushing boundaries with sound and creating some really, really intricate and detailed songs that transition midway through into completely different ideas. It's really creative. I know I just said pushing boundaries, which I do try to avoid in my reviews. I've probably said it multiple times in the past. I do try to keep away from it though, because saying things like that doesn't necessarily mean what the artist is doing sounds good. But this is what I love about Anna Meredith, because she can do some really weird things while making it sound extremely good. The way this album starts off with Sawbones, man, it's a risk, because she is charging in at a 10. She's up here. She's up here at a 10. And you start at a 10, you go in all guns blazing on your enemies, you could quickly tire out and drop to like a 6. It's a risk. She pulled the risk off though, because starting at a 10, she remained very consistent throughout the rest of the album. I mean, it doesn't quite remain at the level of Sawbones, I must admit, but it remains very high. This track sounds like she's ready to conquer everything in her sight. It's ridiculous, honestly, the way it builds upon itself. Like I say, it's a bold and risky way to kick things off, because you're up here? How can you stay up here for the whole time? But that's what I like about Anna, because although, yes, not every track is quite on this level, the next track following on from it is like the different side to her, where she incorporates some really sweet vocal melodies. The way the track sounds really, really reminds me of something like Hannah Diamond would do. I really get so many vibes from that type of pop music that she's currently doing right now, with a kind of weird roboticness to the sound while it also being incredibly sugary and sweet. This is a track that gets me feeling a little bit hungry though, because it's a point on the album what makes me feel like I want more of it. And across the album, the vocal performances are quite rare. She's not contributing on every track. She doesn't need to, but there are vocal contributions from a male singer who is doing a pretty good job. But I can't help but feel like on the second track that he features on, I'm just thinking to myself, I'd rather just be listening to Anna. This vocal pop track divining builds and builds as it progresses. It's wonderful, honestly, but I'm just wanting to hear more of Anna. Killjoy, however, is a great moment though. This male vocalist again appears on this track. Very boyish, charmful vocals. There's this richness to the instrumental, and the way it transitions into the staggering hook is so odd and strange, and yet it's just so weird and works so well. Calion is another track where things just feel completely out of place. You got this wobbly instrumental. It's glitchy, it's slightly off beat and off kilter, and then you pair it and mesh it together with these glistening and wistful synths. And then there's this almost screeching, like siren-like sound that comes in and out of the track too. It's very odd, but it comes together and works. It just works. I don't know how. That's the thing with the track though, because just on first listen you may think, yeah, this sounds like it works really well, but when you kind of like take apart some of the elements like I just did there and think about how, I guess, opposite they are to each other, to make it work the way she does, I think is extremely commendable. Limpet comes later on in the album, and this is a point where I feel like no more surprises could be pulled, but yeah, Anna manages to surprise me because she incorporates this really cool guitar work into the track as well. A track like Bump as well is just this like really weird and twisted modern classical piece which I'm just wondering how exactly it works the way it does, but it somehow does. I'm in awe once again of the transition in the latter half of the song. Like I say, there's so many of those on the album that I think just proves the creativity that Anna has. Unfurl closes the album with the lovely voice of Anna over this very soft instrumental. Yeah, I mean, talk about diversity of sounds in one album. This is an album that's got it. Nothing feels out of place either. It's not like random tracks just being smashed into one album and nothing really feeling cohesive. It's not like that at all. It's a really cool adventure of an album to me. There are random twists and turns that you don't see coming even a few listens later. It's a great listen, honestly. Even if there are a few weaker spots on the album, it doesn't really detract from how great this whole thing is. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I think it's a great listen. I think you'd be a fool to be not checking out Anna's music at the moment because she's really one of a kind. Please let me know what you think of this album if you've heard it already. Would definitely be interested to see what people think of this. Subscribe if you haven't already as well, that'd be great. Check out more videos that I've done. Tell me what I should be reviewing next. Hope you enjoy this album recommendation. Have a good day and goodbye. Hey.